you guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So today I'm going to tell you how I made this Disney pin holder right here. Do you want to know? Stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so I know a lot of you have asked about my Disney pin holder, and unfortunately I didn't have a whole lot of footage. Well, I really had no footage. It's just a few pictures of how I actually put it together. So I'm gonna kind of go over it and tell you for those that did want to know. There is a little bit of a glare here. I do apologize. If I turn the lights off, then you're not gonna see anything. So I'm stuck with that because of the glass. So I actually started making this video for you guys last year when I first made it. And unfortunately, I really haven't done anything with editing or kind of forgot about the video, to be quite honest, until I had somebody ask me how I made my pin holder not too long ago. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that video. So during this video, while I'm talking about how I made this, I have my old background because it was like a year ago. So bear with me, but at least now you'll be able to see and know how I made this pin holder right here. So here you go. Okay guys, so I'm going to basically kind of tell you how I made this pin holder to hold all my Disney pins. When I first originally was trying to make it, I was looking for very, very thin wood, like really super thin wood that I could actually just cut with like an X-Acto knife, and it would have made things so much easier. But unfortunately, the craft stores around here and Home Depot or Lowe's did not have what I was looking for, and I was too impatient to order it online. So I went ahead and just grabbed the thinnest, biggest piece that Home Depot had that would fit for the biggest shadow box, and that's what I did. So I purchased 2 different shadow boxes from Michael's actually, and I kept the paper so I can tell you guys the sizes. So the first one that I ordered was the Studio Decor shadow box, and it's an 18-inch by 24-inch. So this is the paper that goes, you know, inside of it that I took out. So the largest one is an 18 by 24. And then the smallest one that I use just for the balloon on top would be an 8-inch by 10-inch, same brand, Studio Decor, because I wanted them to match and be the same, but different sizes. So again, we have the 18 by 24 and then the 8 by 10. So those are the 2 different sizes that I chose to do this project in. So again, I was trying to do it to where I could just use an X-Acto knife, and I was hoping this wood that I got from Home Depot would still work in that manner, but it didn't. So I laid it out. I took my measurements of how big it's supposed to be on the inside of the glass, and I drew a line so I knew where to cut it, and then I cut it out for both sizes, and then I drew Pooh Bear on there. And I am not an artist. I do not know how to draw. I might be crafty, but that doesn't mean that I'm an artist whatsoever. I will be the first to say I do not know how to draw or anything like that. So I just tried to do the outline of Pooh and the balloon. So I had it all drawn out, and I'm like, okay, let's go try to cut this. So I used like the biggest, thickest X-Acto knife that my man had in the garage, and it was kind of working barely. I had to keep scoring to do the smallest little tiny cut, and it was going to be very tedious and very time consuming, and it probably would have taken me like at least 5 weeks to do it that way. So impatient me went into the garage, and I found that he had like this little machine that cuts things out. It did have a little arm in the back, so I couldn't push it back all the way. So it was a little tricky for me to do. I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, and using this saw thing on my own with him not being here. He was out golfing, and I thought, I can do it. I did, but I was a little scared. And then it started wobbling on the little machine, trying to hold the wood down. Like, it was a little chore, but I did it, and I was able to do it in a way to where I kind of cut apart so I can get in there, and then mended the piece together so you can't really see it, but it's what I had to do because of that arm. I couldn't go all the way back. Apparently he had something else that would have worked perfectly without having to cut it, but again, I was impatient, he wasn't home, and I was trying to do this on my own. So that's what I did. Right there is that cut line that I was telling you about. Right there, that's where I actually cut it completely open so I can get in to get the feet and the head. But if you don't know, it kind of blends in with the wood grain, so it's not very noticeable, so I'm not mad at it. So after I cut it out, Then I went ahead and stained it. You don't have to stain it, but I don't really have anything with that lighter wood color. Everything in my house is like a darker wood. So I wanted to stain it to give it a darker color and to kind of change it up, make it a little bit different. So I stained it. Once it was completely dry, I then took a cork board and I glued it to the back of it. So when you put it in, you have the outside of the wood, the outside wood, and then on the inside behind it, I glued the cork board. Okay, guys, so this is what it looks like before putting them into the shadow box. And I went ahead and put the cork in the back, and what I did was, I'll show you on this one because that one's already attached. So I just glued the cork to the back of the board using, I just used this craft glue. It's the only thing I had right in front of me, but it did a good job. It's staying, it's not even coming off, and it's good to go. So then on here, what I did is I used the backing, and it came with these little pins, and I just went through the cork, through the backing to kind of hold it together. So the cork is actually attached to the backing right now. So now all I have to do is just plop this in, turn those things, and it's in. So I'm gonna attach this one to the backing and then put everything together. Now, the only thing I wish is that I wish that it would open up the front ways so I can just open it, put my new pins, but it doesn't. I actually have to take it off the wall, remove the whole backing, put my pins in, put everything back in, and put it back up and hope that nothing moves, shifts, or changes in the process. Okay, you guys, I actually have one other pin that I need to add, so I'm gonna show you how I go about changing them out. So I flip it over. Did something just fall? Yep, one of the pins just fell. This is why I wish I could just open up the front door. There goes another one. So then now is when I hope everything stays put when I put it back in. Are you serious? Okay, let's try this again. And this is why I hate opening this. Okay, so now I can put it back on my wall. So my man did say that he was going to, and I hope he can do this. If not, I'll be buying new ones and redoing it. But he said that he was going to take, I guess, like his saw and try to like cut the whole top of it off. And then we can put little hinges on the side with the clasp and then open it. So it would be like opening it. So I don't know. That's something that if he wants to tackle, I will let him. And if something happens, then all I have to do is just buy 2 new shadow boxes. And then I'm good to go back to where I'm at now. But that would help me out a great deal, especially just on the big one. The top one with the little balloon, I really don't mind because it's only a small area. And so that one I won't have to open up as much. Plus it's a lot smaller, so it's easier to maintain and open and close, that kind of thing. Where the bigger one, I'm just afraid something's going to break. And so if I could just open the clasp and open it, it would make things so much easier. So that's eventually if that happens. But for now, I'm totally fine with how it came out. And I'm really pleased on how it looks. So this is what the final product would look like. Okay, you guys, so here is the final product. I'm sorry about the glare. It has glass, so there's nothing I can really do about that. But this is the final outcome, and this is how it looks. And there's my whole collection inside that I have to date. But this is everything all done. And I have a lot of room to spare, so I can keep collecting and keep adding. And yeah. So that is the final product hanging on my wall, and I hope you liked this video. I really wish I would have taken more footage of me making it, but again, I really didn't even think it was going to turn out because the wood wasn't what I wanted originally, and it just wasn't. I honestly didn't think it was going to turn out. So I took very few pictures in the process, and now I have the finished product. So unfortunately, I don't have more footage of me actually physically making it to show you guys, but at least you can see the finished product and you can see what I chose to make to hang up and display my Disney pins. So you guys comment down below, let me know, what did you think of this idea? Did you think it came out cute? Would you have done things differently? Have you made anything for your Disney pins? How are you storing yours? Let me know all the details down below. Your positive interaction means the world, and I greatly do appreciate it, as I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. So until next time, you know that drill. Keep a smile on that gorgeous face of yours, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Crafty crew, out.